We have to. They're a member,
That's not my question. We can have a policy debate about how we should engage with the UAE.
They're
I
making
just
claims
visited
about
there
corruption,
a few
and I'm
weeks ago.
answering that any president in the United States, I don't care who the president is, would have to deal with UAE. They're a member of the Abraham Accords, number one. They've been incredibly cooperative on a bunch of other issues. We don't agree with them on 100%. We have concerns about some of the things they do, but this is called the balancing of foreign policy.
Secretary
It is in
Rubio,
our national interest to have a good relationship with the UAE, despite the fact that there are things we do we don't like.
Secretary Rubio, I don't disagree with you. I just visited the UAE a couple weeks ago and had these very same conversations there, but...
No, you're making claims. The president's family owns a business, and they can conduct business anywhere in the world they want. The president's never once raised business deals in UAE when talking about it. Any president would have to have a relationship with the UAE.
Secretary Rubio,
the previous administration had one too.
President Trump has retained his ownership of these companies.
I don't accept the premise of your question. I think this has nothing to do with personally benefiting from anything. This has to do with the fact that in order to conduct foreign policy in the Middle East, you're going to have to deal with the UAE.
Mr. Secretary, this is a clear conflict of interest, and anyone...
Patriots, welcome back to Right View Nation, where we speak the truth without sugarcoating it. Today, we're diving headfirst into yet another leftist smear attempt, this time by Representative Sara Jacobs, who took the opportunity not to support our foreign policy, not to defend the innocent people of Sudan, but to attack President Trump for doing business and keeping America strong abroad. Folks, buckle up, because this one's about exposing the liberal hypocrisy, the twisted priorities of the radical left, and the truth behind this phony conflict of interest claim they're trying to sell to the American people. So here's the backdrop. There's a genocide unfolding in Sudan. Yes, it's horrific. Yes, it's tragic. But instead of focusing on how America, under strong leadership, can strategically intervene or pressure global players like the UAE to end the bloodshed, Sara Jacobs decided to grandstand. She used a humanitarian crisis, people starving, people dying, to push a political hit job on Donald Trump. Let that sink in. Jacobs accused Trump of profiting personally from a business deal in Dubai at the same time weapons are being sold to the UAE. Her so-called smoking gun? A Trump Tower project in Dubai and a $2 billion crypto deal. And she says, oh look, Trump's still owning the company. That's corruption. Hold up. First of all, Donald J. Trump is a businessman, a wildly successful one. The kind of success these career politicians in Washington can't even comprehend. The man built an empire before he ever stepped foot in the White House. And unlike Joe Biden's backdoor family enrichment schemes in Ukraine and China, which the media ignores, Trump's business was out in the open. Legal, transparent, proud. But here's what they won't tell you.
Chair recognizes Representative Jacobs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I want to turn to the war in Sudan. This is, as you know, the world's largest displacement and humanitarian crisis. 500,000 people are facing famine. I saw firsthand the suffering when I visited Sudanese refugees in Chad. Earlier this year, and again yesterday, you reiterated that the Rapid Support Forces, a militia, is committing a genocide in Sudan. Is that correct?
We're very concerned about what both sides are doing, frankly, but the RSF in particular.
Correct. I agree with that. You also said as part of that, that all of our engagement with the UAE, we need to raise the fact that they are openly supporting an entity that is carrying out a genocide. And yet, President Trump continues to arm the UAE. In fact, he just blew through Ranking Member Meek's congressional hold on over $1 billion in arms sales, ignoring this committee's longstanding role as an independent check on major arms sales. And we can have a policy debate here about the merits of continuing to arm the UAE or not, despite this genocide. I had that same conversation with Secretary Blinken. But actually, I want to talk about the events that led up to that decision. So on April 30th, the Trump Organization, which Donald Trump still owns, unveiled plans to build an 80-story Trump Tower in Dubai. Then on May 1st, Trump's crypto company, World Liberty Financial, secured a $2 billion deal with an Emirati company with deep ties to the government. And only 11 days later, on May 12th, your department notified our committee that it would ignore Ranking Member Meek's holds on UAE arms sales. Secretary Rubio, we have a president who is personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government-backed company at the same time he is selling lethal weapons to that same government. Isn't that a clear conflict of interest?
I think no matter who was president, they would have to deal with the UAE. We have to. They're a member,
That's not my question. We can have a policy debate about how we should engage with the UAE.
They're
I
making
just
claims
visited
about
there
corruption,
a few
and I'm
weeks ago.
answering that any president in the United States, I don't care who the president is, would have to deal with UAE. They're a member of the Abraham Accords, number one. They've been incredibly cooperative on a bunch of other issues. We don't agree with them on 100%. We have concerns about some of the things they do, but this is called the balancing of foreign policy.
Secretary
It is in
Rubio,
our
I
national
don't
interest
disagree with
to have
you.
a good relationship with the UAE, despite the fact that there are things we do we don't like.
Secretary Rubio, I don't disagree with you. I just visited the UAE a couple weeks ago and had these very same conversations there, but I don't think this is a complicated question. President Trump is personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government while selling weapons to that same government who is enabling a genocide. Policy aside, are you really saying you don't think this is a conflict of interest?
No, you're making claims. The president's family owns a business, and they can conduct business anywhere in the world they want. The president's never once raised business deals in UAE when talking about it. Any president would have to have a relationship with the UAE.
Secretary Rubio,
the
that's
previous
just silly.
administration had one too.
President Trump has retained his ownership of these companies, and I have an image right here from World Liberty Financial's website. So the idea that President Trump is not the face of the brand of this company on top from benefiting from them, and it literally says on the website that Mr. Trump and his family members own a 60% stake in this company, that's silly. So we can talk about the policy merits. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you a very simple question. Do you believe it's a conflict of interest to have a president personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government while selling weapons to that same government who's enabling a genocide?
I don't accept the premise of your question. I think this has nothing to do with personally benefiting from anything. This has to do with the fact that in order to conduct foreign policy in the Middle East, you're going to have to deal with the UAE.
Mr.
And we're
Secretary,
gonna have to have
this is
deals
a
in place
clear
with the UAE.
conflict of interest, and anyone with any common sense can see that. The president is personally benefiting from billions of dollars of deals, and he doesn't care at all about the people of Sudan who are experiencing famine and genocide. It's shocking to me that you can't admit that. It's clear that you seem more concerned about staying in Trump's good graces than sticking up for human rights and American values that you once
that's an
were a
accusation
champion
you
for.
make. That's about
With
good
that,
graces.
I'm going to yield the
Have to
remainder of
conduct
my
the foreign
time to
policy.
Representative Olszewski.
Well, you make these claims about staying in good graces. You accuse people of
Reclaiming
being
my time,
corrupt.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr.
False.
Secretary. I
do
appreciate a
UAE.
softball
We
for
have
you,
to-
yes or no, since I don't have a lot of time, and I appreciate it. The chairman gives me a few seconds back. Softball for you. Would you, yes or no, as Secretary, find it outrageous for you to solicit or accept a $200,000 Rolls Royce from a foreign government for personal or State Department use?
That offer's never been made to me.
Yes, so you would reject that offer?
The offer of a Rolls Royce?
Yes.
I don't understand the purpose of that
You
question.
would.
That's a silly question.
The fact that you can't answer the question,
I
Mr.
just
Secretary,
answered. I said it's silly.
silly because you would accept it or not?
Of course not. Who would accept it? But no
Well,
one's
then
giving.
I think you should
Well, what are
maybe
you
perhaps,
equating that to?
Mr. Secretary, reclaim my time. I think you are an honorable man by most accounts, but the man that you work for doesn't. And the fact that he is soliciting and accepting a $400 million plane is problematic. And you should know about it. It came up in a Senate hearing. You should read about it, add it to your reading, because it is problematic for foreign policy. It adds to the corruption that my colleague just said. And I hope you speak out against it. Thank you.
America has always done business with the UAE. Whether it's weapons, oil, intelligence sharing, or counterterrorism, the UAE is a key player in the Middle East. Are we supposed to cut off strategic alliances because a liberal has a grudge against Trump? Sara Jacobs and the radical Democrats don't care about conflict of interest. They care about control. They care about smearing Trump. They want to paint him as corrupt while they ignore actual corruption from their own party. Hunter Biden's foreign board seats? Millions funneled into Biden-linked shell companies? Not a peep from Jacobs. But Trump signs a development deal, and suddenly it's a national crisis? Please. And let me be clear, selling weapons to allies like the UAE, who are part of the Abraham Accords, by the way, helps secure peace in the region. It helps counter Iran. It helps protect Israel. But Jacobs would rather throw away our leverage because she's emotionally triggered by Trump's logo being on a skyscraper. That's not foreign policy. That's political theater. Now, when Marco Rubio, who's no stranger to criticism, calmly and factually explained that any president would have to deal with the UAE, Jacobs doubled down. She wasn't asking real questions. She was baiting him, hoping to get a soundbite to feed the activist media. Rubio didn't fall for it. He said it plain. We don't always agree with our allies, but we work with them for the greater good. That's leadership. That's foreign policy. That's how America stays safe and influential. And let's not overlook the next circus act. Some Democrat asked if Rubio would accept a $200,000 Rolls Royce from a foreign government. What kind of question is that? Are we in a serious foreign policy discussion or an SNL skit? It's insulting. It's unserious. And it's exactly why Americans are fed up with this clown show Congress. They manufacture outrage while Rome burns. They target Trump because they fear him. They smear his name because they can't touch his accomplishments. This is what they hate. Trump brought results. He made peace deals. He rebuilt the military. He lowered taxes. And yes, he did it while owning a business. Because being a capitalist isn't corruption. It's the American dream. So here's the truth, patriots. There is no scandal here. There is no smoking gun. What there is a desperate Democrat with a vendetta against the most America-first president we've had in generations. And if these global business deals are so evil, where was the outrage when Bill Clinton was raking in speaking fees from foreign banks? Or when Obama bought a $12 million beachfront mansion while claiming sea levels are rising? Crickets. So no, we don't buy your outrage, Congresswoman Jacobs. We see right through the script. And we're not falling for it. President Trump did what any strong leader does. He balanced national security with diplomacy, all while the economy thrived. And if he makes a buck doing it legally, good. That's the American way. If you want to talk corruption, let's start with the Biden family. But you won't, because you're too busy being obsessed with Trump. And the American people? We're done with the distractions. We want our country back. This has been Right View Nation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The truth needs a voice, and we're here to shout it from the rooftops. God bless you. God bless President Trump. And God bless the United States of America.